Agency owners trying to scale and thinking about hiring a coach. Guys, here's 6 tips in our scaling of our agency, 6 tips that I think you should at least think about before going out and hiring a coach. Number one thing, guys, is you have to know and understand what is exactly the role of a coach. Guys, there's no secret recipe. Guys, if you go out there and you're thinking about hiring someone and they're telling you, we have the secret recipe, the secret formula, the secret, everything's out there. Everything is out there. Number one, guys, know what you're going after. A coach is someone who's pushing the limit, keeping you accountable, making sure you're going through, giving you some of the little stuff that you just maybe hadn't read about yet or so on and so forth. But having a coach isn't a secret recipe. Number 2, guys, as you're thinking about hiring a coach, you need to be looking at the experience leading up to this, okay? What did they do before? If I'm hiring a coach that's gonna teach me how to grow a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure agency, have they ever done that before? Have they ever actually scaled? Or maybe they haven't scaled that, but maybe they worked at Disney for 10 years in sales. Maybe they worked at one of the larger marketing companies and led X, Y, and Z, but you really need to understand, does their background or their experience make sense for them to be able to coach and teach you really, really well, right? Number 3 is I would ask for a test. A lot of these coaching programs now, we go in and we're like, man, it's a 1-year program, $3,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever. Is there any type of test you can do? The third thing I'd be asking is, how do I try this out? How do I even make sure that we're a good fit? Number 4 is referrals. Guys, I've seen so many coaching programs get in, they bring in a new student, and then the first week, the first 2 weeks, they look at that student like, can I go ahead and get a video out of you? And then the student goes, yeah, sure, and they shoot this video, and then it never really worked. You need referrals. Guys, we do this in any other place in the world. If we're getting in a new applicant, a new leader, a new team member, a new anything, adding to our company, we call the references. Call the references of those. Even if you get a list of videos full of testimonials, call those guys and say, hey, saw this testimonial. I know you've been there a while. I would love your full story of how it worked or what right? Number 5 is success rate. Guys, this is something you gotta start watching out for. We have to start watching out. I mean, we're marketers, right? We put this in our stuff, right? We go out and we say, hey, this is the top percentile of the success looks like. I was talking to a coach just the other day, and he was leading me down their offer, and it's a 7-figure run rate. They're gonna get every single client to 7 figures, every single client in their coaching program. My next question was, this is amazing, this is incredible. How many clients, how many people in your coaching program do you have? It's like, dude, I have 30 people in it. It's like, that's awesome. How many of them are doing 7 figures? I have 1 that's almost there, right? And so jumping into that offer, the offer sounded great, I'm gonna get you to 7 figures, but yet the success rate is very, very, very low. Guys, the 6th thing I want to encourage you to do is there's so many incredible things out there in terms of learning, in terms of getting on the basics, guys. There's so much out there that would encourage you, before you even thinking about hiring a coach, go ahead and get to 15,000, 20,000 in revenue before even hiring them. I think of this like the gym. Think of this like the gym, right? The first thing to losing weight or getting healthy is just going. In fact, I would say that that's 80% of it. If you're not even in the habit of going to the gym and you hire a coach, and let's just say you don't show up, or maybe you do show up, or maybe you decide you don't even like it, or maybe, man, I signed up for CrossFit and I don't like CrossFit, I prefer this over here. Just take the action needed to just make advancements. And then once you make those advancements, you get to 15K, okay, now I have a pretty good idea that I like this gym, I like going here, I like the concept, I like the idea. Now hire a coach to get you the rest of the 20%, the rest of the 30% away, right? And so I highly encourage you guys, the 6th idea here, don't hire a coach until you're at least doing 15, maybe 20,000 in revenue. But we're just not gonna end there. What are some alternatives to coaching? Guys, at Height, my wife and I built our agency. We started in the bedroom of our house. Now we do about 8 figures in revenue. I will tell you this, we never hired a coach until I think we were doing multiple 7 figures before we ever hired a coach. So here's 3 ideas. Number 1 is books. Books are $20, sometimes free, right? A couple books I would recommend, Hormozi, $100 Million Offers. You can learn so much from this book. It's not even funny. Hormozi's book. Karen and I have a book. It's 25 bucks. Go to the landing page. We'll tag it somewhere in this video. Head over to our page, Digital Agency Hacker. Everything we did to scale our agency. Josh Nelson has another incredible book on how to build a 7-figure agency. All of these books have 90% of everything you need to really grow and scale, but very, very little upfront costs, very, very little risk. Number 2, we're on YouTube. Guys, there are countless videos. Just start going through all of my stuff, or Josh, or Hormozi, or you name it. There's so many coaches out there. It's all free. The third thing, not so much a coach, but mentors. And I have 2 different types of mentors. There's the mentors that I call on a weekly, monthly basis, with Kevin Harrington and people like Jesse Itzler and these guys that I've actually interacted with and done things with. But then you can also have just kind of virtual mentors. There's so many amazing people, again, putting out free content on social media that if you just go and consume their stuff, it's almost like a free mentorship. Super easy. And the last thing I will say is head over to like a franchise model, WSI, Height. There's a couple others starting to kick around over there. The beautiful thing about franchising is that these guys don't have any type, they can't just roll up an offer. They can't just roll out data. They have to tell you everything. They have to legally disclose everything. They have to show you, here's all of our franchises, here's the success, here's the failures, here's the biggest franchise, the average and the lowest. They gotta tell you everything. Franchising is not the right thing for most of you, but it very well could be a great fit for some of you, right? And so as you go down this path and you're trying to figure out, like, do I hire a coach? Do I not hire a coach? Who should I hire? What questions to ask? If you remember these 6 things, I promise you, it'll give you a leg up on making sure you make the right decision at the right moment just for you. Hope this video helps. Definitely let me know if you have any other thoughts on growing and scaling your agency or any questions below. Love to be able to answer them. Have an awesome day.